Hello and welcome to Tales Across Halcyon City. I'm your Game Master, Thomas, and I'm joined by Jane ESP.
Hey, it's me, Jane ESP, and I'm playing Cutie Carbuncle the Janus.
And Mistral.
Hi, I'm Mistral, and I'm playing Inferno the Transformed.
And Radical Dishonesty.
Hi, I'm Radical Dishonesty, and I'm playing Regalia, the Outsider.
And Zeiston.
Hello, I am Zyson, and I am playing Blackbird, the Doom.
Doom, doom,
And,
And Ari Wolf.
What's up, Wolfpack? Ari here, and I'm playing Archangel the Nova.
And Crystallum Kitsune.
Yo, I'm Crystallum Kitsune, and I am playing Artemis, the Protege. Yay, I didn't forget my playbook name this time.
Today-
I have to.
I think we're starting to slowly remember our playbook.
Every time, if you ever notice I do like a little pause, it's because I'm
A lot of us
like,
do.
I have to stop and think
What
what
playbook
my
do I have?
playbook is. Well, because
we
my brain
all do
was
it.
still so adjusted to saying the Mystic because we were doing
Mhm.
interstitial for so long. So it's like that's what I keep wanting
Details.
to say.
Details.
Wow.
well, obviously, what we have to do is, hi, I'm Jade. I'm the Nova, Blake Smith. Just start shading them all together. There you go.
Yeah, hi, I'm playing Regalia, the Chosen One Fighter Outsider.
Man, if I was really gonna get confused, I would have said Kendallin the Chosen.
Yeah, I like 10 games, so I'm...
Message would go on for about a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, today
Oh
we're
no,
playing.
Regalia is the least powerful. Oh no. Not the least, but the least.
Today we're playing Masks: A New Generation, but first some updates. So, first order of business. This Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a bonus stream on the channel because I want to play my first impressions of Psychonauts 2. I've been, looking forward to it. It is, again, like I said last time, it is one of the few games the first game is one of the few games I have every single Steam achievement for, including bringing that little turtle to everyone in camp.
Through that turtle.
The turtle that you
Screw Mr.
hold,
Pokelope.
the turtle that you
Well,
only
I have
hold
the
normally
turtle
for
made
like
of water.
30 seconds. I have went back and showed it to everyone.
I mean,
Rats
that's
be damn.
Not the
Yeah.
turtle behind your
And I
neck.
played it on Christmas. And bought something from the camp store.
I mean,
But yeah.
screw the end of that game though.
Anyways, I backed it
I
up.
love
I'm one of the
Rock.
backers for that kind of help make it be a thing. So, we're going to be playing it on Wednesday, and yeah, I hope it's fun. And I hope it's worth wait. And
No.
my Tonberry just fell.
Yay! I have no doubt that Psychonauts 2 is going to be fun. That's all I'll say. I'm
And
as
I'm-
excited as he is.
I am concerned at the direction the chat has suddenly taken right now.
Are you gonna share?
Concerned. It's on the screen. Just
I'm not watching the screen.
apparently someone has some sensitivity about their power tier.
Okay,
Who does?
someone in chat. It's fine.
I think that somebody might be Blackbird.
That someone
Yeah,
made-
I feel like Blackbird is a little offended because somehow the clothing wizard got put in a higher place than him.
All right, but
I know,
Apparently,
it's sad.
Red is offended. He's not the least powerful.
I mean, I literally just said in chat that Regalia is in the running for the least powerful.
but
So
let's not go down that rabbit hole. We got recap
It
time.
really depends on
different
Oh,
rabbit
okay.
hole.
So
really depends on which kind of tier. Anyway.
Different rabbit hole.
last
God.
time we had Team Red finally got down to Inferno's psyche and witnessed basically his memories of his power emerging. I'm sorry. Thanatos, you just.
What?
Wow.
People are broken and I don't understand why. What did I miss?
In Thanatos' words.
Clothes Wizard is a master mage. Blackbird dies every time he casts a spell.
Oh no.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. So, Blackbird and Cutie Carbuncle bore witness to the Inferno's memories of the event where his power emerged, and he destroyed the entire building, along with everyone in it. You know, normal superhero backstory. Seriously, what is this game?
Normal tragedies.
What is this game? And just with group and parents issues.
We're superheroes.
Parents.
Hey.
I mean, we had all
Cutie
decided
doesn't
on
have
the path
either
that
of
most
those.
of us were going to be orphans.
So far, Cutie doesn't have either of those.
You're half orphan.
Ah.
But yes, okay. So yeah, then eventually you got it, and they grabbed a sock via one Regalia, and they yanked back to Rally, where they had to confront the reality of Forge's hostile takeover of the team. There was some fighting, and effectively ended up with Artemis leaving the team, and Blackbird being told he should leave the team, and is now and everything like that. And you know, this he managed to, he's right now in authority, and we did a couple of extra scenes to kind of position you guys after the fact. Cutie went on a date with, but found out they were broke. But then Ember showed off that she has ashkinesis. Regalia had coffee with Medusa after being kicked out of Artemis's sanctuary. Bravo attempted to recruit the now free agent Artemis, and Blackbird had their first lesson with their Aunt Josephina. And the last two ones are ones we're going to start with today, because we just didn't have time for them. That's where the opening panel is. Inferno, you're in your mostly fireproof room. What are you doing right now to try to kill some time?
You mean there's something in there I can light on fire?
I mean, sure, if you get out of your suit to do it, but like I'm saying, like you know, proof is a very you know, it's like saying like nothing can
Fireproof.
nothing can possibly go wrong, and that means it's going to go wrong, and it's going to be impossible to actually reach it to fix it.
Details.
So, anyways, what are you doing right now to kind of keep yourself entertained? Because it's actually, you know what? You're just coming into the room. That's that's where we'll position this. Like, what were you doing? You want to say? You have anything?
Probably leaving from the training area.
Okay, you're coming back into your room from the training area.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, you just never seem to have enough blankets at night.
Probably
Just
because we all
random
light
thought.
a fire.
Just random thought. But yes. As you're kind of, you're kind of just tossing some stuff that you were using. Like, there are some tools and such, and Forge has been actively trying to improve your suit to the point where you are safe to touch things, but is trying to balance that with still being able to have a tactile feeling with your extremities to which is important for that. So that's probably what you were training. He was trying a new iteration of the like an outer suit that goes over your inner suit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you throw off this extra outer suit, and as it lands, you notice there is a box sitting on a table.
Mm-hmm.
Simple postage box. And I'm going to just say you have special gloves that you need if you need to handle things that under normal circumstances would combust.
So I'm not just gonna light the box on fire.
If you don't have to. What I'm saying is you don't have to light it on fire.
But it sounds like you're a pyro and you want to light it on fire.
Probably go over there, take a look at it.
It seems to be a package. It is addressed. What is your actual name? Like on there, I forgot that after last week.
Aiden.
Name? I'm supposed to have an actual name?
Aiden.
Aiden.
Aiden, yes. And what is your original last name?
Delant.
Yes, it is addressed to Aiden DeLont. Notable because if anyone would like send you a mail from legal records, you are, because of the adoption stuff, you are officially Aiden Agnew. Wow, you have the alliterative name going, and it's a last name that means fire. Wow, that did not plan that. Did not plan that.
No, it's totally an accident. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like that one ship name that just suddenly appeared, and like I don't remember which one it was, but it was like, why didn't any of us think? Why didn't we think of that before?
Oh, Dante's Inferno?
Yes,
That one.
that's yeah.
It's great. It's fine.
All right, so yeah, that's what the box says. It's it's addressed to here. It's printed, so there's no like handwriting, so just got a little label. And had you been involved in the events prior, you would have, and were grounded at the time, you would have known it looks very much like a pair of other boxes that were found that had certain things in them. But who knows what else would be, because you don't. Yes. Yes. It is a mystery, wrapped in enigma, sprinkled with confusion, and baked at 200 degrees for 4 hours. Serve while hot. But yeah, there's a box. What do you do?
Pretty confused because basically no one uses that name anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't even let Ford use it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you kind of stare at it, you just, I don't know, something about it just kind of has you, like, you can't, like, now that you've noticed it, it's just like, you can't dismiss it right now. Like, it feels like, it's got kind of like a feeling of, like, you have to do something with this. Whatever it is, it's still up to you, but it just, the kind of feeling that, it feels like something that can't be ignored.
Yep. Open it up.
Alright, yeah. Open up with kid gloves, or are we gonna open it up and...
What do you think?
I honestly don't know. I
Fire
honestly
pretty
don't know.
burn.
What's your Sharpie went missing?
It's by your feet, dear.
Okay.
By your toes. On top of the Skittles wrapper. So yes, as you open it up, inside is a mask. But as you kind of look at this mask, it's eerie. Like, it is a very simplistic, like, very plain painted mask. Like, but the details on it are familiar details to you, not though you have not seen them in a long time. It looks like to be a mask that is just a simplistic and stylized version of your pre-transformation face.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Hmm. Just kind of stare at it. Yeah, throw it onto the bed.
Okay. So you just gotta toss it and just it sits there. But it also seems to sit in like the back of your mind, like saying like you feel like there is like it's not just like an all consuming, but there's just like this temptation. You know, it's like some part of you is betraying whatever you want to do and says, I mean, it couldn't hurt to try it on. What do you do? I say it's not enough to like override you. You don't have to act in any way you don't want to, but there's just like it's just
kind of stare at it a bit. Look, yeah, look at it again. Slowly approach it. Not quite sure what it is. What to do about it.
you hear just the faintest voices. Have it all back. Let me try that. Let me try that in a not just me actually whispering, and try to do more of a stage whisper so that people could actually hear what's going on, and you just hear a faint voice saying, "You could have it all back. Be easy. No loss, no strength, just normality."
I don't have anything left.
See it all here. It's like your suit, but you could touch, feel, you could be human again.
It's all gone.
Still here. I'm here to make you whole again. Yeah, no, not creepy at all. In a meta sense here, but yeah, so yeah, it's just you just somehow or another it is in your hand. Like I don't know if it was in your hand before, but it is definitely in your hand now.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you didn't intentionally try to pick it up, it's not like it. It's more like it just appeared in your hand. If you did you try to pick it up before this?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Because otherwise, it was going to do the creepy thing, like you throw it away and then suddenly it's in your hand, kind of thing. It's
Oh no, it's the mask.
it's doing that kind of stuff right now. It is a mask. What do you expect?
Well, the question is just what like made of wood with like a
It's
bar
not.
of...
It's hard to pin down. It's like it's just smooth. Like it's like almost like a plastic kind of thing. Like it's like a nicer version of those cheap Halloween masks kind of thing. So, what do you do with it? Like I say, you are still allowed to say no. I'm not taking control of your character or anything like this. It's just it is trying its hardest to.
It wants you to put it on.
What do you do?
Light it on fire.
Alright. As you kind of you kind of thing, and it's you see it kind of crackle and melt away. as you kind of dust your hands off,
Yeah.
and you turn around, and then it's sitting again on the table. There you. And then we just kind of leave you away with kind of like it's just a scene, like the last frame is just like you silhouetted and just the in the foreground against the view of the mask back on the table, and we cut to Archangel.
Yeah.
You are right now standing outside. You are leaning up outside of a courthouse, waiting for your adoptive father to get out, and
Joy.
as he basically like the actual trial is over. He is just finishing up paperwork right now. So he has, he's been awarded the mentorship of the team. They're going to conduct they're going to keep a close eye on you guys, and everything like that. Like that's the stuff you've been told. Like, I mean, he's given temporary mentorship of the team until they can fully resolve the situation. But what thoughts are kind of going through your head right now?
Mostly anger and frustration. She really doesn't want him to do this, but she knows that she doesn't exactly have a choice at this point.
Yes, after a short bit, Forge comes out, and he's like, I'm blanking on your character, your actual name. Character's actual
Aspen.
Aspen. Too many A names. Oh my god, it's like, again, it's the alliteration!
This is not planned.
I know!
Alliteration is awesome.
Apparently, he's just slowly working. He is looking up the names of kids he wants to adopt alphabetically.
I'll be right back. Give me a sec.
Alright.
Oh, no wonder he didn't get Van Drawn.
Yeah. Don't get lost in junk food.
Da-da.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. So yes. Well, come along, Aspen. My business has been concluded here.
Yeah, I'm coming.
As the two of you kind of it's one of those courses that of course has the dramatic, like, long set of steps coming down.
Okay.
So it's like, as you guys kind of and he presses the button and the limo drives itself up.
Of course it does.
There's, he doesn't want to demean someone to being just a chauffeur. He just makes the car drive itself.
Uh-huh.
The doors open as you approach. He of course, he just steps in, and you follow in behind him then?
Yeah. I'll follow in behind him.
So she's kind of like that. He's kind of leafing through his papers and kind of just like checking. Actually, he's not leafing through papers. He's a tech wizard. Like, seriously, he's got a little holographic. He's doing
Through it up a hollow screen.
Yeah, he's doing the Tony Stark thing. So just kind of, you just have the panel of you just kind of like your reaction to this whole thing, and just
I am brooding
as you kind of see his face kind of sheened by the holographic papers he's reading through.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now that we have finished that and updated the official team roster due to changes, we should be able to start things up properly.
By properly, you mean locking us in the training room?
I am not locking you up in the training room. Training rooms are great for honing one's skills, but you need practical application to see if to put those skills to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks at you as you kind of pushes them to the side for a second. I understand that you are not thrilled with this course of events.
Hey, you think? She kind of rolls her eyes and pouts a little.
Well, his Crimson Cloak may have done well to appeal to you on a personal level. His role was not to be your friend, but rather to be your teacher.
Yeah, you barely give him a chance to do that.
He had adequate chance, and he messed. He made grievous mistakes.
People make mistakes.
Yes,
No one's perfect.
that is a truth. However, mistakes still bear consequences. If none of our mistakes had consequences, we would not learn. We would not grow. We would not have any need to better ourselves, let alone better ourselves than those who came before us. There have been heroes in this city for the past at least four generations. You need to think about what kind of impact you and your friends are going to leave upon the city when you take our place. This isn't some sort of after-school activity like
Yeah, I
the
know
chess
that.
team or the. Sorry, this is more the GM than him. He's not that nerdy.
It's okay.
Yeah, take a moment to get your head in.
Chess team or organized sports.
Gee, you always have to go for the boring examples, don't you?
This isn't something that you just do to get on a college, to get accepted into a college.
I know
Guarantee you
that.
there's someone who has done that.
Probably.
Don't
But
deny it.
she kind of huffs and, spits out, I know it's not a game.
Then start acting with it. What your actions speak. Pay attention to what they are saying.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
I feel like there is a label shift. I'm just not
I
quite.
think so too.
I'm just trying to think of which one is it. That's always a problem. Is like these label shifts. I feel like something's being shifted. Not sure what, but I should probably open.
It's something. Who knows? What are those?
Details. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so I want to say I think he's actually is. You know what? No, he's shifting your mundane down and trying to shift your savior up. Actually,
My savior can't go up anymore. My savior's at a 3.
so
Yeah, that's bad.
that means you would mark a condition instead.
Fuck.
Do you want to reject?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and reject it. Hang on, I'm gonna find my dice. Because DiceBot hates me.
I mean, it hates everyone.
It hates me specifically.
Ooh.
Not as much as it hated all of us that first session.
Oh my god, that first session, that was just.
Except for Regalia. Love Regalia.
I mean, yeah. I'm hoping that first session took so much of our bad dice rolls out of the pool.
Except for
I'm
Regalia's bad dice.
Eh?
7.
And then I
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
7.
Alright. So. Oh, that's the other thing I can see. Alright.
Put that back where it belongs, because you don't belong in that box. Beep.
Second here. I lost one of my tabs, so I'm trying to get. I didn't even realize it until just now that I'm missing information. So.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
No, I got it up here. It just was just a small second thing. So influence. Okay. On a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 7 to 9, choose one. clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, shift one label up and one label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I think I will switch my labels,
Okay.
actually.
All right. What level do you
Ooh.
want to up, and which one do you want to down?
I am actually going to put Savior down and Danger up.
Okay.
Whoops.
You want to explain that one? Just, I'm not gonna say you can't do this. I just want to know. I just want to know what you're thinking with this. Like how is this like reflecting an Archangel's view of themselves?
Well, she's always seen herself as dangerous, so even when she says, you know, she believes people that she's not, there's always that little nagging bug that says, "You're more dangerous than you think you are."
Okay. All right. So it's like his warning. Like you hear the warning and you more think about what you've done than what you should be, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So you don't see yourself. You think of yourself. I'm not a hero right now. I'm too dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, cool. So yeah.
Hmm.
So all right. So now we're gonna get to doing some fun scene prompts. Following up on those things, we're actually going to start with Inferno's prompt, actually, because Inferno got to talk to a mask. So
Got to
was it?
talk to a mask. Oh my.
Oh man, you're
Sorry.
breaking the meta and talking with the game module we're using?
Womp womp.
But anyways, so mostly because that yours was the least one involved with actually you actually really didn't get much happening. You just had a mask, you burned it, and you realize it doesn't want to be burned. What's the deal?
How did it get burnt?
It won't die.
Normally, when I set things on fire, they stay on fire.
All right,
Danica,
all right, Inferno.
Ethan.
The mask is something way out of your skill set, so you need help. So you need a magic user that won't bring this up to Forge and isn't Blackbird. Regalia seems to be a reasonable choice, but Cutie Carbuncle does have that mentor creature who may know more than he would. Who do you talk about this whole thing with?
Probably Regalia.
Okay. So, all right. Where do you find Regalia? Or do you like wait till you're on a mission, like on like a patrol together or something? Or
Well, if my scene is the scene it is, it probably needs to come first or around then.
if you want Inferno to be the person you talk to about that, like that's
That's yeah. The question with that is the difference between like
Okay.
the practical thing that he would practically do and the thing I'd like to do as a player. And those
Well-
are in conflict.
yeah. Well, what is the thing you would like to do as a player, Rad?
Talk with Inferno because I have a talk with Inferno. But the practical view is that he knows Archangel better, and therefore this thing we would be much more comfortable talking with Archangel.
Yeah,
asking
you know what?
Archangel.
Before we actually start doing the scenes, let's get everyone's things out there so we can kind of figure this out. So we can kind of like, if two
Sorry.
people want to do the same scene, their scenes with the same people, that way we can kind of just have them all collapse and do.
Right.
Don't have
Well,
to do.
we could do a happenstance where Inferno calls upon my character, and my character uses the opportunity to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but like I said, I think I do like the idea of doing everyone's prompts, so therefore we know where everyone is going with these, so we can kind of figure out. We have those in mind with the scenes.
Because you were suggesting a time skip, and I'm like, mine is time sensitive. If
Yeah.
we have a time skip, then my character is homeless for a week.
All right. Let's just start at the top
With
of
all
the
his
list.
clothes.
So Artemis.
Yes.
Hades has agreed to mentor your new team, but on one condition. he's not interested in doing this sidekick thing, so you need to try to find at least one more member. Otherwise, you'll have to join up with Apollo, and worse, Athena. So, of your old team, you think either Cutie Carbuncle or Blackbird could fit the bill. Regalia, unfortunately, is out due to the whole your dad thing. So who do you ask first?
Who was it that I was going to ask first? Was it Blackbird?
I think you had said Blackbird, but you can change your mind.
Yes, Blackbird. It was Blackbird.
All right. Inferno, we just.
Blackbird's got that roguish charm.
All right,
Yes.
Blackbird.
Mhm.
Since Forge benched you, you've had plenty of time to study under your Aunt Josephina, and you can't stand it. Oh, sure, you've been able to learn a lot of things, but she keeps trying to meddle in things that she has no business in. You have half the mind to go solo again, but she's still got stuff you need. So you decide maybe you need to talk to someone who's has to deal with a mentor as well. So either Artemis or Archangel. Who do you go for advice?
I'm gonna go with Artemis because I think she's gonna be more open to Blackbird because family doesn't hate me.
Fair
And
enough.
honestly, though, that makes a scene between you two.
Yep.
coming.
All right, Regalia. You don't have a place to stay anymore, so it's time to find a new one. But your options are limited right now. You're pretty sure that Blackbird won't want you to stay in the book after the whole socks thing, and you don't even know what happens to Cutie Carbuncle when she leaves the team. So that leaves the siblings. Which one do you ask, Inferno or Archangel?
Well, like I say, my character would probably intend to approach Archangel because he has had more interactions with them.
Okay, we can just run that scene first, and then Inferno can come to you. We can run Inferno scenes after, so you keep what you want to do. So
Sure. The thing is, I'm willing to ask Inferno. I'm willing to say the happenstances that he encounters Inferno first.
yeah, I because those two are gonna get as much from some stuff. So I do want to do some. Assume it was Archangel. Archangel would have been second in the thing, just because.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Anyways, just gonna keep going down the list. Cutie Carbuncle. Your familiar shared with you a terrible vision of a potential future. The city was irreparably changed for the worse, and to top it all off, it was because of one of your teammates. You're told that this future isn't set in stone and can be changed, so you go off to try and avert a potential disaster. So who do you see in this vision? Was it Inferno, or was it Artemis?
I think it was Inferno.
Okay. You're getting all the popularity.
Why aren't I hearing anything?
I don't know. Check
Yeah,
your
'cause I didn't hear that.
ports.
My ports are plugged.
I know, like pull them.
My ports are plugged in.
Pull them in and out. Sometimes they get loose.
My ports are still plugged in.
And you're not muted on your volume is down on your headset, right? The little dial.
To
Well, the
fill
thing
in a
is, I
little bit while
was
we're
hearing,
waiting
and then I
for
suddenly stopped hearing.
her connectivity.
So,
The reason I was thinking this one's kind of obvious. I really can't think of
Someone
how
say
whole
something?
Artemis would be destructively
Yeah, I can't hear.
Oh!
anything.
causing the end of the world.
No.
Besides,
I
Boss
actually
dog.
have the bad
Did
both
you
bad
mute me or
futures.
something?
I didn't mute you.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up then.
Okay.
All right, real quick.
Disconnect and reconnect.
So both of them are valid choices. Like it's just like who do you want to talk to about a potential bad future?
I think it's also more interesting with Inferno because of our recent
I
interaction
can be aware if
with each
I'm
other,
hearing anybody.
where we both
There
kind
we
of find
go.
out
Now I
the
am.
past and everything with each other. So I think
Okay.
that's more fitting for Inferno.
That's fine. So. Alright. Lastly, Archangel.
Mm.
You had another dream. The cat was there again. He was dancing upon the cinders of a burning building as he played a fiddle that was made of his head. Look, it's a dream, they're weird, okay? But the part that sticks in you is what he said. Your brother is more alike than you even know. You both paid the same cost for power. Isn't that swell? This feels like more than just a dream. So you decide to talk to someone else with a little expertise in the area. Either Regalia or Blackbird. Who do you choose?
I think she'd swallow her pride of being mad at Blackbird and talk to Blackbird.
Okay.
Aww.
Alright. Cool. So let's start off. So, Red, like as a player, which one do you want to interact more with?
Like I said, Inferno is the character he'd want to interact more with.
Okay.
I'm also willing though to choose to have the choice based on like evening out the number of things that people are doing.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, because it's kind of even goes both ways kind of thing. Like I said, yeah. Okay. Inferno and Archangel. Which one would you rather do the scene of? Hey, can I crash? Having Regalia, can I crash at your place? Because I am getting.
Sorry. I'm trying to be accommodating, and this is making it harder.
You're being too accommodating. We need you to make a decision here.
Right.
You want something sociably acceptable or insulting? I mean, the answer will still be yes, but you'll have two different temperaments.
That is true. Do you want to deal with fire, or do you want to deal with something not as fire?
All right. Let's just do both of them with Inferno.
Okay.
I come approaching, and Inferno either locates me or my goal is I show up at Forge's place, which I know the location of.
Yep.
And so I go there. If I saw Forge first, I would ask him.
Yeah. All right. So, as you are just kind of walking out, you're about to leave to kind of do something because that whole mask thing has kind of weirded you out a little bit.
Yep.
You just see Regalia kind of walking in, like looking around, just kind of like.
Regalia knocks on the door, probably.
Yeah, you see him knocking on the door to the public building.
Yeah.
The public building? Regalia doesn't know this. Somebody's home, right? The door.
You know no one's going to answer the public in a public building.
Inferno. Hello. Greetings. This is a public building? Don't you live here?
More or less.
Okay. Hi, I have a question.
Yeah?
Requestion.
I love that phrase for question.
What is our question?
Yes, a question.
I think Artemis did Artemis formally announce she was quitting the team, or just stop show, or is
She
this
She
the
formally
indication?
announced it.
Yeah, she is
Okay,
quit the team.
okay. Well, alongside quitting the team, I no longer have her place to stay at. I was residing there, and now I am no longer. I need a
Yeah?
place to stay. And
And?
you and Forge and Archangel potentially have a large amount of space. Could I stay with you?
Yeah, if you don't want to leave, the old geezer likes to take in strays.
I have parents. They're just a little ways away.
Cut to a panel that's just like this long, like static and void, and just kind of goes off to it. Like it's actually just like the gap between two panels, but it's just there to convey that it is in fact not very short distance away.
Yes. What did they call it? Studying abroad. That's what I'm doing. Studying superheroing abroad. I'm sure Forge would be pleased with it. can't imagine he wouldn't.
The old bastard isn't pleased with anything.
That's the reaction he has. He's going to say something and just sort of puts his finger to his lips. I'm sure something must. But I suppose you might not have the authority to make this decision, would you? It would be Forge's authority, correct? Not only is he your father, he's also not a leader of the team.
Yeah.
I
He's
assumed he would
not
be
my
up for it.
father.
Oh. Is it all right if I ask what the situation is? Hold on.
He's the guy that decided to take me out of a cell.
A cell.
Yeah, a cell.
Oh, is this related to the fire eruption problems?
Yeah, technically.
I see. Ah. I guess it seems a little unusual to me. We accommodate a variety of potential fire elementals in my world. They are simply another form, and you have to be careful around them, of course, but they have their own places to live. I suppose you don't have the same problems. Your power is science power, so-called, not majory.
I think I go a bit beyond fire elemental. Anyways, if you want to stay, stay. Just just crash here. It's not like we don't have the room.
Thank you. I would very much not like to sleep on the street. I've seen what people do to people who are sleeping on the streets here.
I have seen the people who sleep in the street. I am not one of them.
Yes. It would be nice. It doesn't seem to be a wilderness trip exactly. And that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Since you're here, can you can you help me figure out this thing?
Which thing?
Yeah.
The
mask.
Okay, so like we cut.
Holding
You say which thing, and we hard cut to the room with the mask sitting on the table.
Yeah.
Oh. Have I kept another mask from a previous time? I think I might have.
Yeah, you still have the. I'm gonna say the
It's
tragedy.
one of the comedy. It's
tragedy.
one of the comedy tragedy masks.
Yeah, tragedy got broke doing the whole Blackbird wearing it thing, but comedy is still intact.
Okay, so I have. It's either me or Blackbird that has comedy. I forget who.
We'll just say you have it with you because you're the one
All right.
studying.
Aha! And from his pocket, he procures a comedy mask, a sort of commedia dell'arte mask. Another mask. Ah, yes. Interesting. How did you get this one?
Has Inferno been kept up to date on this whole mask thing?
No, he wasn't running around.
The other thing is, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh, if he puts on the mask, it's gonna drain him like it tried to drain Blackbird. But he was not there for that, so he doesn't know that's going to happen. I'm like, oh, another mask, yes. Oh, where did you procure this one?
It was sent to me.
Directly to you?
Yeah, by someone who apparently knows my old name. No, pretty much no one knows that.
Was there a return address?
No.
There was, but it was the store down the street, so not really useful.
Okay.
Not
okay.
really.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That might actually have been something Regalia might not have known to ask, though.
Yeah.
Also, I'm like, oh, could it be directly from the mask maker? What is it of? It seems to be of just a boy's face.
Someone that's been dead for years.
That's unusual. Is it going to perhaps, was it someone you knew?
I guess you could say that.
Do they want somebody else to? Do they want you to give it to somebody else? Do you have any unfinished business with this person? It seems a little callous, though, to sort of offer to sort of implicitly bring someone back to life by forcing them to act like them with the mask and all, transforming them into them. Are you familiar with the masks? I'm recalling you were not there when we dealt with the sadness mask.
I don't know a thing about them.
They have been around, apparently. Mask Maker, I believe, is the person that is supposedly the source. And we've seen them. We've been trading them in illicit deals designed to look like other illicit deals. A little confusing. And then, of course, all of those people who are the same person during the museum heist with the flaming dinosaur.
Oh, those guys?
I just want to say, pause it here. Wait, which museum heist with the flaming dinosaur? Not seriously, unless you want it to be, but it could happen more than once.
Wait, which one?
No, you never know. That's an occasional time, you guys.
With the flaming dinosaur, yes. All of them were wearing a mask, and the mask turned them into those. And Blackbird placed on a mask that was similar to this, but had a huge frown on it, and was able to inflict sadness upon people. Unfortunately,
so
wearing
that
the
bastard
mask
actually did something wrong.
we did learn about the mask from it. We now are aware that if you are already an exceptional individual, the mask can harm you. It's difficult, I believe. It's more of a mind problem, a psychic attack of some kind, perhaps. I did not see it firsthand, but I know that there was a problem with it. But if the mask was designed for you, or for someone around you, I suppose, but if they know you, they might know that you probably only know people with superpowers. Maybe this mask wouldn't have that problem. Well, I suppose there's one other thing to do. Let's listen to the mask.
Go right ahead. Not sure it's gonna tell you anything.
Huh? Every garment has a tale to tell.
As you lay your hand on it to commune with the mask, you hear a faint, like a quiet but not necessarily faint. It's just, stay away, mage. This my gift is not for you.
Yes, but who is it for? Inferno?
It is for the one whose face I bear that was lost once before.
Does someone have to go grave digging?
There is a moment where you just feel a sensation that if a mask could facepalm, it probably would be facepalming right now.
Obviously, it needs the word telekinesis, so it can just smack its head against the nearest solid object.
You will not pry my secrets from me. I belong to Aiden and Aiden alone.
Oh, and is that Inferno?
Yes.
Well, he's
No,
asking.
I don't. I wouldn't know. I'm asking the mask.
Oh, I thought this was out of character.
No. I remember his name.
The mask says yes.
Yes. It just says, I am to restore Aiden to what he had restore to Aiden what he had lost. That is all that you need know, meddlesome mage.
Meddlesome mage. So much alliteration.
I remove my. Have I been? Do I talk about these? Yeah, I suppose I would talk. These are things I would say. Although you could not hear the garment.
Yep.
Well, it's a stubborn one, which is to be. Which you see sometimes, you know. Someone has a favorite pair of jeans that they've worn for years. They don't really like it if other people meddle.
Is everyone close to this man?
No, he talks to clothes. That's kind of his whole thing.
I'm just saying, he's talking about jeans. I'm saying,
Yes.
is everything close with
he was
this
talking
man?
to He was just talking to a mask, and he was making a comparison.
Look.
Okay, let me just put it. Let me use a tangent. I love how the suite of powers that I've wound up with Regalia makes the extremely bizarre, eccentric wizard just come extremely naturally. What does he do? Talk to clothing and jingle socks like he's teasing an invisible cat. It's wonderful.
This is why I think Regalia is gay.
Like, well, the mask says it's for you. The mask is very insistent that this is yours. I assume it's yours, unless someone else is Aiden. So yes, and the mask will confer an appearance and I think powers, maybe a mindset upon somebody. I'm not sure what the breadth of effects it could have. But it was definitely designed for you, which, if it was sent directly to you.
Then how do we destroy it? Because obviously it doesn't burn.
Oh?
Through
No,
the
it doesn't.
fires of Mount Doom. Doom!
Maybe if it were a magical fire of some kind? In a volcano? Far away through the Shadowlands?
Doom!
In the lair of Shelob? No?
Doom! What?
Nothing. I'm amused. I am amused.
I'm like, I suppose we could look for it. I would be loath to destroy an artifact such as this. I would be very interested in finding the artifact's creator.
And you can keep it, just keep it away from me. I'm tired of it talking to me. Tell it to go away!
It talks to you too. I don't know if the mask would be pleased with that. It was very insistent that it was your mask.
Well, I don't want it. Or, whatever the hell it's promising.
I suppose the restoration of a loved one is of the past is a fairly troublesome topic, yes. Just not exactly.
Promising something that doesn't exist anyways.
Well, yes, if it's someone who's passed, it would be a rough facsimile. I suppose I suppose that it may be sorcery, but it's not magic, to say parlance of some kind. It might not be able to simply solve your problems by placing it on, although it certainly believes that it would. And as far as I know, it's being honest. Clothes are very bad liars.
Yes, they're terrible instruments.
Very terrible.
Usually you can trust a pair of clothes. Even if they're trying to lie, it's usually extremely obvious.
Usually, not always.
Yes. So I could attempt to take it. If you say it's indestructible, that might be.
I just said it doesn't burn. I've already lit it on fire.
Well, there are other ways to destroy things.
Then maybe we should figure out how.
I suppose there must be a better solution. The destruction of a garment is always a terrible loss.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Well, you already said you don't want to take it away from me, and I don't want it.
That is true.
I just want to say this is wonderful where I can get you guys going, and I just have to kind of sit back and enjoy the show and not actually
right.
defeating stuff. And it's like, I'm not saying that as like this is a really good thing.
Yeah. I sort of lean over to it, and I'm sort of speaking directly to it. You really are troublesome, aren't you?
I have no idea what a problem this damn thing is.
You're probably right. I'm afraid I don't. But if it reminds you of someone past, that must be difficult to have to face, especially if. Are you saying? Let's just be clear. Are you saying that you cannot throw it away? That you have attempted to throw it away, and it has returned to you?
Boomerang!
Throws it over.
He throws it over his shoulder, and you look down, and it's back on the table.
Yes.
Enough for you.
Yes, I've seen enchantments like this before.
I want to do. I have one addendum. He throws it over his shoulder, fire blasts it, still on the table.
I suppose I could see about some kind of issue. However, I will say, the mask was broken once it was worn. The mask was placed on, and then when the mask was removed, it broke. This happened with all the other masks that we've seen. If it truly is unpleasant, you could potentially simply place it on and take it off immediately.
I am not wearing that thing.
Yes. That's probably sensible. I'm sorry. Oh, and I just said that the mask inflicts psychic damage on the wearer. What was I thinking? Oh dear. Oh goodness. Please forgive me.
I think we're gonna. Call the scene.
We're kind of not getting anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, like you're getting some great characterization here, but I feel like okay, let's.
We have other people that need to get through tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, I mean, yeah, you could probably go on with this forever, but there are other characters.
Let
All
us do. All right, so I guess Artemis and Blackbird. Who finds the other one first?
BRP.
Well, Blackbird knows where Artemis lives, so I think that's probably.
I think Blackbird finds Artemis first. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Artemis has been kind of like just staying away from people.
Blackbird. Okay, I guess here's a question. Right now, is the entire team disbarred, or is it just that you just don't want Regalia staying in your sanctum?
I think I have kind of cut off contact from most of them.
Well,
Some of them are very angry with me because of it, but I think I am kind of not fully cut off contact. I'm avoiding all of them.
Yeah. So if Blackbird comes up to the archway that leads into a normal building usually, and tries to do the thing to get into your sanctum, what happens?
I think if he touches the door, he gets kind of these like vines grow around it and kind of smack him.
There's like this decorative like stone ivy around like one of the columns, and it kind of comes up and just kind of slaps his hand away.
Slaps him. Bitch slapped by ivy.
Alright, here's the question. Am I still under no magic curfew?
No, that was just like the first lesson. That was there more for illustrative purposes than anything else.
So yeah, I would like to kind of just blast through this then.
Alright, roll to unleash your powers!
Alright. And I'm angry, so I get a plus, I believe, 2.
Plus 1.
To this.
I want to say
Plus 1?
Let me check. I actually have the bowl right in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Plus 1.
Okay. Ah, so I get a plus 4 altogether.
Ooh.
Well, that's a 7 at least.
Yep. So either marking condition or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Well, let's go market condition, because I feel kind of guilty for blasting through things, I guess.
Okay, that's fair. Go ahead, mark guilty.
Yeah, he's probably gonna kill you. What do I have to mark?
No, you don't have to mark anything. He's marking guilty.
Okay, you looked at me.
No, I was just about to start giving you a prompt about looking.
Yeah, she's gonna kill you. Just a warning!
So basically, I'm not going to say you literally blasted the door, because that would just burst into like an office building. But you basically, in a not so subtle way, tear asunder the fabric of reality to let yourself walk into her sanctum, despite the protections in place, and you just mumble to yourself, "Show them who's the weakest."
Yeah.
Still you.
Not actually, that didn't actually happen, but I just, there was a point to just throw that meta joke, and I had to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, burst through, go, "Hey Artemis, you here?"
What are you doing here?
That's a hell of a way to greet a visitor.
And what did you do to my plants?
Oh, they were a little rude to me, so I just put a little discipline their way.
God damn it! I didn't want to ship these two again.
Can I turn him into a stag?
You want to roll to unleash your powers?
Yes! some dice. Oh, I already have dice in there.
Like you use it to roll or something.
6.
And add your freak.
Okay, that means I need to open up a roll, which I
Well,
don't
it's
have.
+2 based on what I have. That's
8.
so you do it, but the effects are either have the marking condition, or I will tell you how the effects are unstable or temporary.
Unstable or temporary.
Oh, goody! That's what I was hoping for.
Yes.
So yeah.
Considering the nature of what I'm doing, I'm turning into a freaking stag, so...
Well, the trick is, as we established, Magic A does not like Magic B, and vice versa. So yeah, he's a stag, but he's also a stag that is like 13 feet tall, glowing red eyes,
He's a demon deer.
fangs, like, you know, like those weird deer that have like the vampire fangs? Like sharp, pointy teeth.
So basically, he's a Wendigo.
Yeah.
And beneath his like he's jet black, and beneath his feet, the ground begins to like wither away. You're welcome to do whatever you want.
Oh god, I know what just happened. If the ground's withering away beneath his feet...
What? Tell me.
He just took my powers. My frickin' powers! Or they got transferred to him somehow!
Oh no, I was going more for it's a demonic blight.
Okay.
Basically, the problem is you turn into a stag. The problem is he has so much demon power pumped into him that means he turns into a demon stag.
Huh.
Can I still talk it in this form, or?
Can you?
Can you? It's up to you.
Yeah, I imagine this is a demon stag, so yes. Is really your first response to anything turn something into a stag?
That's a stupid question.
Also, I love that apparently I built this big demonic presence. It's like it's got a full gauge spread of this just wicked looking thing, and then the next panel is there's just a beat panel in it, and it's like, is really that your first response to everything? It is the demon stag of passive aggressive.
Do you know anything about Greek history?
I haven't been to school for 13 years. What do you think?
I just love this. Is just
I think Artemis just walks in for a second, like pulls a book off a shelf and throws it at him
the shelf that is
thanks.
just in the.
in the doorway. The random shelf that's towards the doorway. It's like a Greek mythology book. Just throws it at him.
So what were you saying? I didn't quite hear you there.
Yeah, I'll read this with the hands I have.
Yes, apparently one of the demon stag's power is the control over shade, because he is throwing that. Ways I thought this scene was gonna go. Sass from a demon stag was not one of them.
Well, apparently you also started this out by suddenly starting to ship them. So...
Oh, no, that was more because it was just the way you guys were fighting was just like the... I could see in the slap, kiss thing again.
Again, yes.
Yeah, Blackbird's just gonna mutter a spell and try to turn himself back.
I'm gonna say you do so because the power is kind of gotten away from her, so it's more in your wheelhouse and just...
No more demon stag?
Keep that move in mind in case you want to use a tag team move kind of thing.
Oh, are you turning him into a demon stag?
Yeah, I mean, if you can repeat it intentionally.
Anyway, I've come to talk. I
About
figured you would
what?
help, but maybe not.
About what exactly?
I guess about family stuff.
Family.
Yeah, you have like a shit ton. Yeah, I'm sure you have to deal with things.
Well, I got some crazy uncles and a misogynist father
There's also a whore.
who's also a whore.
Yeah, I've
An
never
annoying
really...
brother. And I haven't met all of them, but I'm pretty sure I've got some like half siblings.
Yeah, well, I've never had any of that, and now I'm kind of dealing with a controlling aunt.
Huh.
So I guess I was just wondering how you deal with shit like this.
With my family?
Yeah.
I just want to give Zyson a line here. I just want to feed you a line. And that doesn't involve turning them into stags.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't involve turning them into sex.
Well, you see, the problem is that I'm still kind of a lower god right now, and so turning them into stags is sadly not much of an option. But trust me, with my dad, I kind of wish it was.
I can imagine.
Probably use being a stag for a few days.
To be fair, he probably would use it to try to get with more people.
Probably.
The dude used was a beam of sunlight to get laid.
Yeah.
Also a swan.
Then instead of
And
just the woman, he could get with the does too.
Oh dear God.
That's not creepy or anything.
It makes him sound kind of like Loki.
There isn't a lot of there is some level of overlap there.
I mean, Zeus and Loki?
A little bit.
Dear God.
No, we do not ship them.
I said overlap, not shipping.
No. Dear demon, not dear God.
I mean,
We're not gonna ship them. Ever.
I don't know. Somebody out there probably does.
Dear God, no!
Anyways,
I understand that Zeus is basically Odin, but no!
Not quite, but
Odin can keep it in his pants.
He's like the Greek version of Odin, like that basic similarity of basic storm god that's in literally every religion.
Isn't Thor the storm god?
I was gonna say Thor's the god of lightning, not
Thor-
Odin. Odin is the god of wisdom and war.
Well, yeah.
Banana!
Banana!
Right. I remember now.
Alright, so yeah, Blackbird's just gonna lean on one of the pillars and goes, "So, you flying solo now?
Yes.
How's that going for you?"
Well, it was going pretty good until some annoying little pigeon showed up.
Pigeon. Go ahead, Zyson. Sorry, I didn't mean to cause that much laughter.
Yeah, I do that. It's fun to get under people's skin.
Well, that is what pigeons do.
I don't think those pigeons exist, because that's freaking terrifying. Skin burrowing pigeons. Oh my god. Good news, I have a new idea of if we ever play D&D, what random encounter you're gonna get.
Dude, really?
Skin burrowing pigeons, everyone.
I am terrified.
Sorry for the tangent. Okay. Yeah, so solo, it was doing well into pigeon, and that's what you like to do, get under people's skins, like pigeons do it. Like, pigeons do it that way.
So Blackbird's getting a harem. Got it.
A harem of pigeons? I guess so.
When did this become a Hayote boyfriend?
Oh. Come on.
God dang it.
Come on.
I'm sorry, that was
How
a
do I know
perfect
this?
setup.
No. I approve of that reference.
Am I muted?
Solid joke.
No, you're not muted. I can hear you.
We
Okay.
have so many problems right now. Focusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Blackbird, your response here, so.
Oh yes. Sorry, we had so many tangents. I'm like,
Yeah.
where are we again?
Yeah, basically, is she just insults you. You like to get under people's skin, and she's yeah, that's what you do, more or less.
That's what pigeons do.
I'm just trying not to. I wasn't trying to say it again, just because we can't do that
But
without.
it was funny.
Yes, it was funny, but we need to get focused and keep going.
I'm gonna get this on a t-shirt. I'm gonna go bug Alicia about it.
So I can make pigeons go under someone's skin. It's quite horrifying,
Very.
especially when they burst out.
Like that
Rather
girl
messy.
who had the power to make puppies appear anywhere.
Okay. Banana.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right. Well, I mean, if you don't want me here, I can always just go.
Why do you need my help with this? Isn't there some other person out there with as screwed up a family as I have?
Yeah, but Inferno hates me, so. I figured I'd at least get a chance with you.
Okay, well, what do you need to know?
I guess just how you deal with things like family and I don't know.
Well, I guess I just kind of. Well, honestly, my dad and I are always at each other's throats. Kind of a everyday thing. But, you know, when you have a dad like mine, that's not really much of a surprise. He's kind of insane.
So why don't you just walk out on them?
That's what my uncle's for.
Cutting his little miniature bonsai, and he just swings forward and is like, oh no, she's talking about me again. Little miniature bonsai pomegranate tree. Which is just, I just love that, it's just the stupidest detail, but I love the fact, just the idea of Hades having a miniature pomegranate tree that he tries to do and never gets anywhere with it.
Very cute.
Yeah, your uncle. That's the fish one, right?
Not that uncle. I have two uncles.
Oh.
The fire one.
Oh yeah, I think I sent a T-Rex his way.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy about that one.
Cut away, gag, go, and use. It's just Hades is like he just kind of like looking sad at the broken pomegranate bonsai tree and just kind of tosses it, and then like the T-Rex just come, and you look and you see it's got a little bed and a food bowl.
That sounds Rexy.
Yes, so
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting that there's like both a hell and an underworld.
Yes.
Yeah. That you didn't think that's what was gonna happen to it. It's his new pet now.
Huh. Well, at least I don't have to worry about that thing coming back, I guess.
Hermes named it Rexy.
Huh.
But yes, you don't exactly have to worry about that thing.
Alright, well, I guess good visiting you. I'll take your book.
Make sure you study.
And also, don't forget your prompt as well here.
What prompt?
You need someone else to be on your team, otherwise you have to join Apollo's team.
Okay, just a second. Blackbird.
Yeah?
Look, I need something from you.
And what's that?
Look, my uncle doesn't do this sidekick thing. And so I need someone on my team.
So you're asking me for help?
Well, it's either that or you stay benched. Besides, knowledge of the gods could help you.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I got some people I want to visit in the underworld.
Alright. Unfortunately, as much as I wish to, we don't actually have a scene with both Cutie and Archangel, which would have perfectly balanced everything else out.
Sorry.
So, what we'll do is, I'm going to do one Cutie scene, and then we'll start off next week with Archangels, because you at least got to do something.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, because I think we have time for just one more. Alright, so, back on Inferno. This is making up for all that time you got skipped out on the psyche levels. So, is this Cutie Carbuncle or is this Dante?
It depends, I think, on the situation.
Okay, actually, I should describe the vision to you, because I haven't done that yet.
It might help set the scene a little on how I interact in this situation.
Yeah, so the vision you saw was of a crater, basically. You just see a slightly different Halcyon city. Like the skyline has changed, so it looks like time has passed. You see just a familiar-looking plume of fire erupt from the center of the city, and then just start spreading, and then it just kind of collapses in on itself, leaving basically a crater where the city once stood. You see a lone figure silhouetted at the edge of this crater, and then just basically it kind of it suddenly falls. A gateway opens up and it passes through. That's the vision you were given from your familiar mentor.
All right.
Here, I don't have to go into too much detail.
After receiving, I imagine, this vision from, I don't know if we do like this mind link thing, or it just like kind of like puts its head against mine.
Yeah, it just. I think what it does is asks you to stare into its gem, and then eventually you just see the vision kind of goes in that way. So.
What? Sorry. Let me get through this. Let's just have this be taking place in some place more private. So right now I'm dating. So give me. What in the world was that?
A possible future.
What do you mean possible future? Why are you?
I'm showing you what. I don't control when these visions come. They are It was just sometimes when a branch becomes too dangerous, I become aware of a possible outcome that things could have, so that I may inform the bearer of the power to take actions to prevent it.
So you're saying there's something going on that Inferno might lose it?
I mean, look what happened with Icy Wolf there.
All right, I'll go talk to him. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, I think a little bit of our secret's out. Not a huge amount, but...
Really? Does that have anything to do with the fact that I was a freaking cat?
Don't blame me. It's some weird pie wizard. It was all bizarre.
Pie wizard?
But, yes.
Pie wizard? That's when you. That's just that's just the kind of thing as you get as you leave the room and everything. Just her looking confused about Pie Wizard.
All right, then I will seek them out. I imagine in this situation, I might do it in a public place, but I'm imagining I'm going to be probably in cutie form right now.
Okay. So it's easy enough to find them. So, you want to set the stage? Otherwise, I could throw something up there. Like, where would Cutie find you? Out in a public place.
Well, I imagine this is me trying to be considerate to them as an individual. Well, what would be some place that you think would be not dangerous for Inferno? Some place they would be comfortable, and we don't have to worry about like catching stuff on fire as easily.
The Glass Desert District.
Yes, the Desert District. No.
The Glass Desert. It's already been turned into glass.
Middle of the desert.
Active volcano district. Yeah. Well, obviously, there's that giant active volcano in the middle of the city. Totally
Yes.
never a supervillain has built a layer on top.
That's right.
Yes, it's like I think it's some sort of monkey.
Nobody suspected that the supervillain Magmar would have built right in the volcano directly in the city.
Magmar? Like the Pokemon?
I just wanted a Magma name. Okay.
Magmar.
Yes, that's the term
I
I
mean,
use.
that's fair. That's a solid name. Only if he doesn't look like he has a butt for a head.
You see, I was gonna riff on it, and I was gonna totally say something random like a bud on a head.
Oh, he totally has a butt for a head.
Regardless,
Anyway,
and a head for a butt.
I'm sorry, but there is no longer a active volcano district due to gentrification.
That makes sense. That's fair.
Gentrification?
Yes. It is now a shopping mall.
You know what? In my time knowing Inferno, would I know where they were not so unguarded? I guess, like, I don't want to just do it at the base because there's a few people there maybe they're not willing to deal with, and I don't also want to have to deal with that. So, you know what? Maybe I just invite them to come to like a little picnic or something.
And we could say like, and like genuinely like, yeah, I joked about the last thing. But there could be stuff outside of the city that is just like sites of that are sites of battles that are just kind of like left as like almost like memorials to things that have transpired, like major invasions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, okay, that works. That works.
Like people go out there all the time, especially when you're superheroes and such. It's just like it's normal.
I mean, you're getting a little. But remember, I think that was wasn't that part of the backstories that was one of the things we helped prevent from being destroyed by something?
That was a more direct memorial in the middle of town.
Yeah. But yeah, I imagine it's kind of an extension of it. But yes, I will invite Inferno to come have a little bit of a meal with me or something.
And Inferno, you probably just can chalk it up to the weird location to be, hey, this area is probably fireproofish.
Yeah.
So.
Or at least there won't be any harm if things get destroyed.
Yeah, the place is just to kind of keep going on the magma is the obsidian plane.
Ooh.
It's got like that molten glass kind of thing over it. Very shiny, very barren, and it's like something that stuff does not grow in, so it's kind of left bare, and no one really wants to develop on it because they're kind of a little nervous that if they dig too deep, they might find a volcano or a Balrog or something, or a volcano Balrog. Volcano Balrog. That sounds like a Mega Man boss, actually, a Mega Man X boss.
You're not wrong.
So we've got Magmar and Balrog.
Volcano Balrog.
And a mask that is essentially the One Ring.
Oh boy.
Because
So,
we
yes.
still
Come on.
apparently haven't figured out how to destroy it.
We are
Picnic.
so getting sued by
Jokes
Tolkien.
aside.
Picnic. So yeah, as Inferno approaches, Kitty Carbuncle has I imagine the red and white checkered blanket. Like, you didn't actually have this sitting around the house, you just magicked it into existence because magic.
Because you have magic
That's
and
fair.
you need an excuse to use it.
It's just like what you view in your head, so it just like, yay, Carbuncle conjuration!
No, that was very much a little bit of a magical girl spin, and just poof. Suddenly, there's
It just a little poof of like smoke, and it's there.
I probably before he shows up, I probably have to test it to make sure it's like actually like soft and nice to sit on because I'm not used to conjuring probably that kind of stuff. I imagine I actually brought like normal food.
Yeah, you actually brought the.
I made the food and brought it. I don't make that sort of stuff out of magic. That's not part of it.
Yeah, so you see a picnic spread as you approach Inferno.
That's not flammable
Oh,
at all.
Inferno, right here. I'm like waving.
We're playing with superheroes. And to be fair, the Future Vision was the familiar, not Kitty Carbuncle directly.
Yes.
And new powers as the plot demands. So, as Inferno sees the Carbuncle waving and approaches.
And that was already part of my power set to have conjuration. I just hadn't had a chance to use it super much yet.
What do you do, Inferno?
Moves over to the side of the blanket, doesn't get on it.
Well, I brought a bunch of things to choose from. I got all sorts of different breads and toppings.
I brought ice cream. Oh, I brought pop. Oh.
You can't eat, can you?
The joke was more, it was all things that would easily melt.
Can Inferno eat?
No.
I mean,
This has
if
been
you're an ice
discussed
cream soup
earlier.
person,
Inferno can't eat.
I
I'll
brought
have you know, ice cream soup is great. And no, this I imagine I was not stupid enough to bring stuff up that I know would immediately be reasonable. I even brought in a plug-in blender. Wait, dang it! I knew I forgot something. I didn't bring a generator.
She just plugs it into our wand. There we go. Who wants a smoothie?
Oh dear.
I can imagine because I'm trying to think about how Inferno normally can interact with the world around them when they're constantly wearing that mask. So I'm like, well, obviously a smoothie seems to be some or other blended stuff that they could sip through a straw would minimize casualties and any worry like that.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, you start pulling out food. What does the Inferno do to that?
I don't eat.
Oh, okay, sorry. I mean, I guess you already did. Apparently, you just like taking what I had a while ago. So it's at like this very timid smile, but there's definitely like some awkwardness to it. So I know you and your sister are struggling a bit with the new team setup we have going on.
I think struggling would be an understatement.
But your dad's definitely not. I'd prefer if we had been able to keep. What was it? Red Cloak?
Crimson Cloak.
Crimson Cloak. I would have preferred if we kept Crimson Cloak, but you know, sometimes we don't always get those choices.
He's not my dad, and he should have minded his own business.
I agree. He could have been, you know, a little bit more respected. I mean, it doesn't feel like he was being very supportive of your attempts to be a hero in some ways.
He's never
I mean, we were working perfectly fine as a team, right?
more or less. He's never been supportive. All he cares about is, are my powers under control?
Well, I like to think we can at least try and make the best of it, right? By the way, at this point, I've like gone out a little thing, started doing some of this with in the background with like my hands and stuff, just to try and like prepare the bit of food and stuff. But are you doing okay, Inferno?
No different than any other day dealing with him. Give it a few,
Wow.
a few years, you get used to it. You're either in one cage or another.
Yeah, I get it. If you ever need help, feel free to let me know. I can try and see if I can get something to help out with that. But I know it's never been a very easy situation to get used to. Trust me, I never expected to gain powers like this either.
Does Inferno want to ask at all about what was seen in the top of the food pyramid? This feels like a very good time to.
So what happened in your case?
I definitely audibly paused for a moment of like just in the middle of like shaking it up. It's just like there's a stop for a second. It was not a situation I necessarily thought was going to end up the way it did. I mean, I'd always seen those heroes on TV and in the news, and I thought how cool they were. And I thought when an opportunity arose for me to, step into the spotlight and help out, but I did not expect all of this. And she kind of like does like the peripheral up and down of her entire body.
Yes, we both got a little messed up.
I mean, I think I at least am the lucky one, but she gingerly tries to like, I guess she tries to she reaches forward to kind of like maybe touch your mask-ish era. I was like, but that's just harsh. I'm sorry for your loss.
I am
Roll
shipping
plus-
them so hard
Roll
right
plus
now.
mundane to comfort and support. God damn it!
Oh my gosh!
Same.
OTP, man! OTP!
I am so shipping Dante's Inferno right now.
OTP!
Oh yeah, I totally. All right, so
They're so
it's-
cute!
what role of comfort and support has been Dane, right?
Mundane, yes.
Oh, god dang it. There we go. Okay, that's a 9.
Okay, on a hit, they hear you. If they open up, they can do one of the options on there. Does Inferno keep opening up here? Like, do you show that that her words reach you? So you can either clear a condition, mark potential, or add a team to the pool, I believe. No, wait, no, it's mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if you open up.
You gotta be kidding me.
It all fell on top of your bag, dear.
I know. I spent so much time organizing it. I want to organize it again.
There's one
So it's a
more.
little hard to hear. Is she talking just through your?
No, she's not
Yeah.
talking. She's talking about stuff in real life right now.
Okay. I know. I'm just talking about Inferno.
Inferno hasn't said anything.
Yep.
Ow.
I mean, I could. That would be a way to use a team point. I don't know how many we have in the pool. But I'm pretty sure a 9 to a 10 doesn't make a major difference in this
No,
situation.
no, it would just mean you can either add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself.
Yeah, so adding since I don't have any conditions, there's no point to spend the team. If I would basically be refunding the team immediately.
Yeah.
But thank you for the advice, Thanatos.
So yeah, just let me know what option you're choosing there, and then we can kind of get back to the conversation.
I think I'm gonna clear angry.
Okay. Ooh, wow. That's something going on there.
Yeah.
All right. So you had the kind of touching moment, like the actual attempting some contact.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say is, due to whatever happens, Cucumber either touches the right spot or is just got magical guarding up, enough magical built up guarding that nothing that does not burn. Also, you've noticed that the picnic blanket conjured by Cucumber also does not burn.
Yeah.
So.
Just really shocked that there has been contact and burning. Yeah.
Did you say anything or?
Yeah. Really giving up that life is nothing. nothing compared to everyone that died because of it. You saw what happened.
Did you hear that, Carbuncle?
Yeah. A bit of it, yes.
The guess was it was what happened to them was nothing compared to other people who lost their lives in that event. And that you saw it.
True.
I deserve to be locked up.
Well, don't downplay your own hurt, okay? Yeah, there are other people who suffered from the event probably, but you not having your parents or not having even your body anymore, that definitely gotta affect you. Okay?
I don't have my parents because I killed them.
I know. I know how it is to lose a parent. I know compared to probably what you or Blackbird or anyone else on the team has gone to, I'm pretty lucky for the most part. But that still doesn't mean the fact that I can't understand what you've gone through.
Okay, you know what? I just realized I've been forgetting a very important move, which is totally being triggered here. When you are open and vulnerable with someone. I always am so bad about remembering these ones.
Yes.
I think that one's been more than triggered.
Yeah. When you share vulnerability or weakness with someone, ask them if they think you're losing or gaining humanity. Which I feel like you more or less. I think we've actually hit the notes on that one pretty well.
If I share vulnerability or weakness, yes, tell them a secret about who I really am.
Well, no. This is definitely trigger. This is on. No. This is on Inferno's side of it. You really,
Oh no! I also similarly have a similar thing here.
Yeah. Well, every playbook has when you share triumphant celebration and vulnerability or weakness with someone. They're just like. So, based on the tone of conversation, I would say gaining humanity is definitely what Carbuncle is trying to say here. That like your pain is just because of what happened to you. Your pain isn't negligible, or it matters still. Clear a condition and shift mundane up and any other label down. So you have a danger of +2, a freak of +3, a savior of -1, and a superior of -2. Which one are you going to drop? And I guess you have to clear guilty as well.
Yeah, to think
that's actually that actually fits the tone there too.
To think that not that many sessions ago I was sitting there about to be knocked out because I was sitting there with 5.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so mundane is actually +2 now.
Yep. And you have to lower one other label.
I
would say danger and freak seem most sensible in this context.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna lower freak.
Okay. And you get ready to start shifting some more labels, because I feel like we're kind of at I feel like we're kind of at a good point to end on that thing. It's just like I don't think you're gonna get a King Carbuncle hasn't figured things out enough to actually give you a hug.
Yep.
But it might happen soon. Yeah, we're about to do the end of session moves.
I know, but I am so itchy.
Sorry.
I don't feel good.
So yeah, as we wrap up the scene, I'm probably
And
just
I don't have headphones, so
giving him a nice
I'm just gonna have to take a
smile.
wild guess.
Well, that's fine. Like, this is just me saying stuff to you for, it's the end of
Okay.
session moves.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so, end of session moves. Artemis, did you go closer to the team, away from the team, or into the image of yourself?
Away from the team.
Why do you feel detached, and who are you taking influence away from?
Because I'm not on the team anymore. So,
So the only person you can have left, influence left to reject on the team is Cutie Carbuncle.
Okay, I'll reject Carbuncle's influence then.
Don't worry, we have a new team now.
No.
She just had to leave the room again. She's
Okay.
those bug bites are really bothering her. So, all right. So we'll just kind of, since we did Blackbird, close to yourself, away from yourself, close to the team, away from the team, or into the image yourself.
That's a good question.
Your new team can also count towards this. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, yeah, I think closer to the team because I was asked to join this team with
All right. Giving influence back to Artemis, and you may clear condition or mark potential.
I'm gonna clear guilty because she turned me into a deer or stag.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mark guilty, so it works out.
Yeah.
It all works out.
Yeah, no, I no longer feel guilty because, like, once you turn into a demon stag, it's like, nah, fuck that.
That will be the tagline we use to advertise this stream. And once you turn into a demon deer, fuck that. Alright, Regalia. Did you grow close to the team, away from the team, or in the image of yourself?
Closer to the team.
Made you feel welcome?
Inferno.
Alright, Inferno.
Possibly our
how do you
chances
shift?
are good. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, Willow. Feeling better?
actually, Savior up, Superior down.
Alright. And, alright, so Regalia can clear a condition or mark potential.
Do I have a condition?
Not on my list, no.
All right. Well, mark a potential then. Boom.
And Cutie Carbuncle. Close to the team, away from the team, or image of yourself.
Well, there's only one person I really was able to interact with this session, so I think I got to get closer to them.
Alright. I'm pretty sure they already have influence over you.
Well, I think they do.
Yep, they do. Inferno is just a shift in everybody's labels tonight.
Freak down, Savior up.
Oh, okay, Carbuncle, mark a condition.
Yay!
Oh, what did my shift do?
It was
I forgot.
Superior down, Savior up.
Okay.
So, what condition are you marking? You know what? Actually, I know what you're doing. What Cutie Carbuncle is doing. I'm going to mark insecure. As you
Again?
Yes, because you're kind of in the moment. It's like you getting a little bit of that imposter syndrome kind of creeping in, like where you feel like, okay, I'm doing this, but is it really me, or is this just the power of doing this kind of thing? Does that feel like a reasonable approach? Like that's like something I could see happening, but this is your character. I'm not trying to say what happens.
No, I can see that.
Right.
But the alternate argument is hopeless, because I did see an image and I don't know how much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Let's. We can go with that. All right. Archangel, sorry.
It's all right.
Do you feel like you have enough to answer the question, or?
Yeah, I'm going away from the team.
All right. So who do you feel detached, and whose influence are you losing? Why do you feel detached, and whose influence are you losing?
Just the argument with Forge kind of made her feel more dangerous than what he was intending.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of feels
separated.
So
right now, Inferno, Artemis, Regalia, and
Artemis is losing it.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, she's pissed that Artemis hasn't called her.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm looking forward to when Archangel talks to Blackbird, and Blackbird will inevitably mention that he's on a new team with Artemis.
Yeah, that's probably not going to go over well.
No, it's a beautiful little drama train we got going, which is nice because I'm getting
all the drama.
The Inferno drama train is finally slowing down a little.
Just a bit.
All right. Speaking of the Inferno, did we do Inferno yet?
No.
Okay. I thought I was trying to save you for last, but I was just making sure. Did you go close to the team, away from the team, or the image of yourself?
Closer to the team.
Who made you feel welcome and why?
I actually think I'm gonna use some of those banked up ones.
That's fair. I'm allowing it. I will allow it.
Because I have like 50.
It feels like it, but I feel like we'll call it for this, and then we'll just say you're even at this point.
Oh, we do also need to do my Doom thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did
we do it last week? Because we're still trying to do yours every other. So.
Yeah, I think it was last week we didn't do it. So.
Okay. We'll do it after this one. So.
Well, I thought because you're dealing with your aunt, then you got anyway. Whatever. Go ahead.
Cutie and Regalia.
All right.
So both of them. Yeah.
So Kikaro gets to shift your labels.
Both of them get to shift my labels.
Oh, I didn't have Regalia listed. I only had Archangel and Cutie Carbuncle listed as influence over you.
I've got Regalia on mine.
Is that influence over you, or you have influence over Regalia?
Has influence over me.
I mean, if you say it, you say it. So it's...
Yeah.
Regalia.
I like just looking at my page. I have influence over everyone, so it actually has to scroll a little bit.
Yes. Well, because you have everyone plus an NPC has influence over you.
Yay!
That's not an adult.
Yeah. Actually, Thanatos, did Blackbird do his Doom tracker last time?
So
I think he missed last one, right?
Yeah, that's
what I think.
No, Thanatos didn't watch the last episode.
Oh, I thought they caught up.
I don't know. Either way, so Cutie Carbuncle, how does Inferno's label shift because of your influence? And Regalia gets the same thing as well. So we'll.
I'm trying to figure out. This feels like a situation. I want to say either danger or freak goes down because I am trying to comfort/support them.
I definitely think you're dropping their danger. I feel like because you're trying to say that hey, what happened there wasn't their fault. A lot of that. There's definitely a lot of that.
The irony is, I could almost argue the inverse because I did see that vision that makes them look dangerous. So maybe that's still kind of on the back of my mind.
Remember, this is how your influence is changing them.
Okay, how it's changing.
How's it
Okay.
changing how they see themselves? Not how you see it's how you see them is how changing how they see themselves.
You know what? I tried to raise their confidence. I'm going to boost their superior.
Okay.
And roll there.
All right, superior up and then danger down?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Regalia's influence?
I'm not sure. We spent the whole time talking about we spent the whole time talking about the masks and him being an Inferno sort of stonewalling Regalia, but not really, just being unclear to do things. Oh, was I still afraid from before? Anyway, so we're talking about superpowers.
Well, it's just like you don't have to look at the specifics of this. This is just more of how you see how you see Inferno changing how Inferno sees themselves.
Right. But
Like-
it's
Like, what do you think? How do you think Inferno should see themselves as?
I mean, it's probably minus. Well, did we already remove a danger this evening? Or
There was
I forget.
one, but you can still remove more dangers. Like, it is from
Right. This can be a weird one. What if Freak went down one and Mundane went up one? Basically, like, well, what is this? Regalia sees Inferno is more normal.
Okay.
What is fire? He wants something to do with fire. Okay, that's it's
Yeah, because
little...
you mentioned the whole thing about like fire elementals and from your world and everything like that. Like that.
Yeah. I'm regretting taking the one of like when you I'm regretting taking the one when you openly disregard or undermine important Earth custom in favor of yours because I can't figure out how to apply it.
Mhm.
But literally the one where you talk. Oh wait, no, I did talk about my home.
Oops.
Oh, whoops. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, because I try to keep catch on the basic moves, and I'm pretty bad at that. You guys gotta pay attention for your own moves. Like, I'm sorry,
I thought I forgot. I forgot that I had more of these.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So
my stats just went crazy.
Yeah, they did. Like, you have a
Yeah,
+1 danger, +1 freak, +3 mundane, -1 savior, -1 superior. Honestly, in terms of a transformed story arc, you're in a really good spot right now.
Right. It's just a little unclear because maybe your character isn't in the part where you feel very mundane, really.
Well, that's the thing. This is how your character starts seeing. Like, you just from both of your actions, you're like feeling like, okay, maybe this isn't such a weird thing. I'm not in such a weird thing. Like, there's a lot of this kind of stuff happens to a lot of people in this city. So.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Both of us did our damnedest to treat Inferno as like just a regular person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they still see themselves as a bit of a freak, like so they know they are not normal, but they don't see themselves as a monster as much either, kind of thing. So I think is the kind of how you translate. So I think you actually have all your. Did you? Yeah, you cleared guilty earlier.
Yep.
So go ahead and mark that potential because you've earned it.
So mark 2 potentials.
Yeah. Because you have gone through excessive therapy. Now we just need to get Archangel to get her conditions down, and then we're looking at a pretty good spot. And that's when I get to start tearing you apart again.
Okay.
I'll be torn apart next week. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that's it for. So we'll just do the Doom track thing tonight because I feel like we're more likely to default to not doing it than doing it, so we'll just do it right now. So, do you think you made progress? Did you think you made progress towards defeating your nemesis?
I think last week I did because meeting my aunt and getting her to teach me.
Yep.
Actually, I would say probably this week too because beating Hades would probably be good help.
you're branching out, trying to find powers other than the demonic sources that you've been depending on, and that's kind of undermining your patron's ability to subvert you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Pull this up because I don't have this up. As always, you can join us in our Discord, link down in the description, chat with us to discuss channel or channel adjacent topics, or where else you want to. Like, how would you rank the character power tiers? You can also follow us on Twitter at talesacross.com. At talesacross.com. No, it's at talesacross. To get updates from us and be notified when the channel goes live. Character art is done by friend of the show, Carl. Links below to their DeviantArt and Ko-fi account. Finally, like, subscribe, and follow us to help us reach a wider audience and to get future content from us and be notified when we go live. So, to those watching us in the past, present, and future, talk to your dermatologist about pigeons today. And good night.